What we saw here in St. Petersburg the other night with mobs harassing innocent people who were just enjoying a meal at a restaurant is simply unacceptable. If you go out here in the state of Florida and you're sitting in a restaurant, you should be able to do that in peace without having some lunatic come up and yell in your face. I think that that should be dealt with anyways, but our legislation will certainly do that. It's simply unacceptable to allow that type of behavior here in the state of Florida. And so for those law-abiding men and women who just want to live their lives, we got your back. More help is on the way.
How do you envision law enforcement responding to those types of situations?
So what I think is, and as was said, you go out and protest until your heart's content. It's your right to stand for what you want. No one is going to begrudge that, even though, I mean, quite frankly, some of the stuff that's said in these protests about the people in uniform I find revolting. I don't agree with it. But nevertheless, that's what the country's all about, to be able to go up there and do that. The minute that crosses over from just peaceful assembly to where you're harassing somebody else or you're intimidating or threatening them, particularly when they're in a public accommodation like a restaurant, or if they're in their residence. I mean, some of these places in like Oregon, you're starting to see some of these groups go into neighborhoods. That is unacceptable. We're not going to allow it. And I think when we did our press conference on Monday, Sheriff Judd in Polk County, pretty plain spoken, he said, sign of a peaceful protest, this is what this is. We all know it. This is not. This is when you cross the line. And I think crossing the line is really when you start harassing or intimidating just private citizens who are trying to go about their business. I looked at those folks. All they're doing is sitting down, having a meal. You know, who knows what's on their mind? Who knows what issues they're having to deal with in their life? And then to have a bunch of people do that, I think it's just unacceptable. That's not the way of life here in Florida. I don't think that that's conducive to having a safe society, and we just can't allow that to happen. So I was disappointed in seeing it. We actually, I mean, once we saw that, you know, we had state resources. We were ready to marshal, and we didn't need to do that, fortunately. But man, it's not a good look for the state. It was not fair to those people who were sitting there just eating. And you really want to live in a society where anytime you venture into public, you can have somebody just come and do that to you. I don't want that. I don't think that that's right.